How's it going, folks? Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Headset, not wireless controller. There we go. Mic check, mic check. Foil. Mic check, mic check. Alright, here we go. So I recorded at 8. Go 0, 0, 12, 13, 1, 14, 2, 15, 3, 16, 4, 17, 5, 18, 6, 18, 19, 7, 28. I think it's already 1944. It's quarter to 8. 21, 9, 22, 10. 11. All right. How do I not have freaking sheep yet? Like, $400 food, 200 gold. Hang on a sec. Give me a sec. I'll get back. Two, three.
申し、拾い集めぬ。
終わんぬ。終わんぬ。
So we got one freaking sheep? Oh my lord.
愉快じゃの。
Blue's taking all my sheep.
良き仕上がり。
はてな。建立すべし。
申し、前に進み申す。
建立いたした。
いずこへ、小村よの。はべりけり、向かいせばや。
はて。
Still got one sheep.
は。ような。
はてな。小村よの。
はてな。
200 food, gold.
はて。堀に参る。用意すべし。掘り出し申す。
はてな、いずこへ。申し。
Alright, where should I put? I'll put the barracks down here. There we go.
じき。はべりけり。
はて。は。は。田畑へ。用意すべし。
Recon.
審裁中。はてな。はてな。
恩下寺あり。脱木とうとう。ご案。用意すべし。はて。はあ。田畑へ。
How does he have one sheep? Like, oh my lord, I have.
もうた。小村よの。
I don't know. Is there a freaking trader? No. No trader.
いずこへ。はべりけり。 恩下寺あり。よっかな。
なんぞ役が。
支度済みぬれば。申す。
申し。
役がござるか。
1200 food, 600 gold.
火を集めよう。 こに半べ役儀はまだ可能。一度位置につけ。
承知いたした
追っておるぞ。もう必ず立て申し候。本下寺を待ち申すまで。良き仕上がり。役がござる。本庁一のやり使いじゃ。
Bang!
立ててご覧でさす。役儀はまずいかない役がされ。本流にかかる。本庁一のもののふぞ。役が申し。必ず立て申し候。百姓ここぞ。
So 1, 2, 3.
もしなんぞ役が材木を集め
陽気かな。おわん。良き仕上がり。愉快じゃのう。確かに心得立てまつり候。ここには申し。かき寄せての。役儀はまだ可能。材木を集め。
That's kind of sad. All the way around the map, just find like one sheep. It's really sad.
いかないここに半べり。百姓ここぞ。立ててご覧ぜさす。いかない役か。立ててご覧ぜさす。
一同位置につけなんぞ役が本流にかかる下地今に
Even. You got 20 people on food.
愉快じゃの
役儀はまだ可能。本流にかかる。陽気かな。ここに半べ。
Where's their trader? I don't even have one yet. One, 2, 3, 4, 5.
本流に百姓天山。抜木じゃ。役がござるか。良き火を持つ。 いかな役か。よただいま進み申し候。本流
申し
ここに半べり。
ゲジ今に足を運べ。
力は
一同一同位置につけ。立ててご覧で立つ。あの役か。
百姓剣山
申し
役がござる。申し必ず立て
Let's go, Idaho.
役が何ぞ
Come on.
役が
Okay. Another map. I like this map. It's got a lot of space, a lot of floor space for
ワン
build up the base.
役儀はまだかの。
いかな役か。ゲジ今に火を持つ。
見事な造営となり申し候。
一同行け。直ちに堀に行かねば。
いずこに向かうべきや。御方のため。
さようでいかな役が。
ゲージのほどは構えておるぞ。
合戦のもろもろ備えよ。
御意に尽くすこと、その旨果たすべき。御ゲージのほどは
励むまで。すぐに落成とならん。
おぼし飯のほどはい
かにいたすべき。
一度よく
役を申し付けください。
備えポリスを待つべし。
御ゲージのほどは
役儀を
おぼし飯のほどは
まさに良い出来。
励むまで。名を挙げたく存じそう。まさに造営の最中。
おぼし飯のほ
い
どは
かにいたすべきや。掘り出さねば。励むまで。掘り出さねば。
役を申し付けください。御ゲージのほどは
備え進め者ども。
All right then.
合戦の暁存ずる。
Let's go help Blue.
皆者ども行くぞ。
Is there any more gold? There's no gold. Okay, we're going right here. We're going right here.
すぐに落
いかにいた
御
すべきや。
ゲージのほどは
ゲジの通り。
さようでござるか。役をくだされ。火はよく
さようでいかな役が。材木を
Oh, there's gold. There's gold. I was wrong.
やり合わせかな。御ゲージを果たすところ。
合戦の暁もろもろ備えよ。
ゲージのほどはやり合わせかな。 えておるぞ。やり合わせかな。
いかにいたすべきや。
We're gonna need some stone.
励むまでさようで。
ゲージの
い
ほどは
かな役がまさに造営の最中。
OMG.
そのもの
You guys.
位置につけ皆の衆よく聞け
やり使い構えておるぞ。
まさに良い出来栄え。さようで仰せの通り気もし候。
やり合わせかな。
励むまですぐに落成となら
やり使い構えておるぞ。
Where is Blue going?
いかにいたすべきや成就したも同然じゃ列車必
いかにいた励むまで。まさに造営の最中。
ず備え備えよ
いかにいたすべきや。御方のため。さようでいかな役が。
おぼし飯のほどは。
Alright, Yellow is our friend that I know.
いかにいたすべきや。
申し付けくだされ。
すぐに落成とならん。
4, 6,
おぼし飯
7,
のほ
8,
どは。
9.
励むまで。
一度よ
恩ゲジの
く聞け
ほどは。
材木を集め
役を申し付けくださ
励むまでゲージの通り材木集め
れ。役を申し付けくだされ。おぼし飯のほどは。
良き出来栄え。いかにいたす
恩
べきや。
ゲジのほどは。
木はよう役に立つ。
役を申し付けくだされ。
皆の衆よく聞け。まさに造営の最中。いかにいたすべきや。金銀堀こそ根性のノ
皆の行け直ちにまさに造営の最中
リ。励むまで。御方のため。
剣をつけてまで備えよ者どもしかり軍を向け合戦の備えよ見せなく撃たれておれ
さようで。
いつ即座に相済ますべし皆の衆よく聞け
即座に相済ますべし。
1, 2, 3.
いかにいたす一度よく聞け
Also, crow. Let's put it right here.
役儀をいただきたく
下し頼む。恩下しに従うまで。属州民。敵め、襲ってきた。
いかにいたすべきや。
一度
本に行かねば励むまで。
皆の衆よく聞け。
すぐに落成とならん。
いずこに向かう。
皆の衆よく聞け。
備えよ者ども。
攻め込まれたぞ。
備えよ。
さようでいかな役が。励むまで僧の者ども下事に備えよ。
Maybe 7.
この手にかかれば。さようで一同よく聞け。まさ
1,
に造営
2,
の最
3,
中。
4, 5, 7, 7. Alright, I'll be back. I gotta go get some pizza. I'm just gonna have a pizza break. Come on. Come on. in French.
は無用。
I'm back. Lord, is anyone there? Like, I've been live for 2 hours right now. No one's tuning in. Cool. Luke's. Seen Sandring game. No, I have not. Okay, here we go. Let's finish this and chill with a movie. I know, like.
お指図くだされ。
よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。おいとま無用。山向かうべし。拙者にかかれば。
今に仰せください。霊に従い。霊に従い。今に拙者の役目心得ておる。大手に立たされた。大事。おすごいもんと。おさ本当。
おいとま無用。ますます手柄を立てたく存じまする。はっ、何なりとお指図を。はっ、何なりとお指図を。全部集めれば。
I'm gonna need more wood.
見事な造営となり申し候。おいとま無用。者ども仰せくださるぞ。同社を立てるぞ。まさに良い結果へ。はっ、なんなり者ども仰せくださるぞ。材木取らねば。
おいとま無用。
よく聞け。
All the stone for there. Let's go get that stone.
この結構立ててみせる。
大津指図に任せ発射すべ。お指図くだされ。お指図くだされ。見事な造営となり申し候。大津指図に任せ発射すべ。いかに務め申すべきよ。
Oh, July.
大津指図に任せ発射すべ。お指図くだされ。いかに務め申すべきや。
July 1st,
指図くだされ。
5 p.m.
大津指図に任せ発射すべ。指図に任せ。
Okay, what is going on here? Let's
仰せ
go.
くださるぞ。
どこぞに矢を打ち込むべきや。
同社を立てるぞ。
金がしを
なよく聞け。ご加盟
All the
じゃ
gold.
固く造営すべし。
Gold. I
者
like
ども
gold.
仰せくださるぞ。同社を立てるぞ。
お指図くだされ。
よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。山は良いの。ま、者ども仰せくださるぞ。
おいとま無用。
よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。無論固くぞ。よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。この結構はっはっ何なりとお指図を。
命を進め。
Jimmy. Oh, I'm at 200 limit already. Oh, wow. See, these guys are all allies. No one knew.
お指図くだされ。
者ども一度進め。
Susumi.
ご加盟じゃ。
同
Oh.
社を立てるぞ。
Yeah. Huh. 1, 2, 3, 4.
命に従い。
Wait, what if we just hit green? Alright, up there. I mean, look at them. They're weak.
拙者の役目心得ておる。
103 units.
「まさに良い出来栄え。
I like that gong.
両手に戦えてしまった。
Oh Istanbul Imperial Place. Alright, let's see if they follow me.
勲功をあげたく存じ候。踏んどるべし。指図下され候。指図下され候。ますます手柄を立て。
よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。固く
A に従い。
Okay, everyone hold. Oh yeah, what do we got? 97 economy?
者ども仰せくださるぞ。よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。
者ども仰せくださるぞ。同社を立てるぞ。
よく仕上がりぞ。者ども仰せくださるぞ。者どもよく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。ならば固く造営すべし。よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。せいて迎え。
Do
見事
this.
な造営と
Oh
なり
yeah.
申し候。
今に仰せくださるべし。拙者が役目心得ておる。おろおろ下がれよ。
者ども仰せくださるぞ。同社を立てるぞ。
者ども仰せくださるぞ。
Come on, come on, come on. There we go.
よく聞け。ご加盟。
者ただいま沙汰いたしておるところ。
Let's fall back.
一度
Fall back.
進め。
愛人についておる。指図下され候。
Don't try to run now.
ますます手柄を立てたく存じよく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。金銀はいずこに。何なものども仰せくださるぞ。あらば。
8. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh shit. The power of the gunpowder. Alright, let's see how they like infantry. Some of these guys, some of those guys, bit of that. Oh, I need engineering. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back to your rice field. Holy moly. That's a big army. Alright, cycle charge infantry. Or cycle charge the oh god. Run away!
お指図の旨ただいまたたいたし
良き出来栄え。
指図願います攻めこ槍場に攻め寄りたく存じ候よく聞けご加盟じゃこの結構立ててみせる例に攻め込む指図ください。我が眼中は勲功のみ。新たにお指図のお指図を仰せられ候。今に願いの通り。
よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。同社を立てるぞ。よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。この結構立ててみせる。
者ども仰せくださる入れ武具を離すべから
者ども仰せくださるぞ。ならば固く造営すべし。おいとま無用。この手
者ども仰せくださるよく聞けご加盟じゃ
Don't got anywhere stone.
金銀ねえか
Let's look over here.
えいて迎え固く造営すべし今に奮闘を上げたく存じ候ふんどるべしふんどるべし
I miss my dog, Pepper. Oh, Pepper, my Pepper. Where art thou?
新たに命下された武具を持て行け入れ武具を
Green is. They're pretty much just done. Oh, look.
お指図の
ますます手柄よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。御意に尽くす。固く造営すべし。
新たに命下された。この旨必ず果たす。者ども仰せください。武具をお待てじゃ。行け。万事とどまりつかまつり。
この手にかかれば。
よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。同社を立てるぞ。
ますます手が者ども仰せください。
万事とどまりつかまつり。お指図の通りただに立つべし。白攻めの達成じゃ。一同続け。万事とどまりつかまつり。なかなかの腕前じゃ。入れ。この旨必ず果たす。者ども一同続け。唱えよ。
神妙に存じそう。やり場に攻め寄りたく存じ候。我がに攻め寄りたく候のみ。
者ども仰せくださるぞ。固く造営すべし。新たに命下された。その旨必ず果たす。新たに命下された。その旨必ず。
Okay.
者ども仰せくださるぞ。ならば
Time to start calling the herd.
お指図を
やり場に攻め寄
も
りたく候のみ。
よく聞け。ご加盟じゃ。
やり場に攻め寄りたくだされ。
大奥に戦えてしまった。
おいと汗向かい候。
我が眼中は勲功のみ。
追い込まむよ。
やり場に攻め寄りたく
75. That should be enough.
者ども仰せくださるぞ。お指図の通り多々いたすべし。
なんと
大奥に立たされてしまった。この結構立ててみせる。白攻め注意。お指図の通り多々いたすべし。参れ。武具を離すべからず。その旨必ず。万事整いつかまつり。白攻め中出立じゃ。新たに命下された。この旨必ず。万事整い指図の通りいたすべし。
Yoink! Oh god, don't die, don't die! Don't die, get up there!
力一同共に行こう
Run away, run away, run away now. Run away, you're gonna die.
新たに武具を持て行け落としたぞ一同だけが整いつかまつりお胸必ずなかなかの腕前だ広攻め中向かえ兵器の中行け戯れ無用ゲージギア万事白攻めの達成お立場の通りたまに立つべし白攻め中一同続けおさすこの胸必ず万事整いつかまつり一同続け参れ指図くだされ力色攻め中万事整いつかまつり静かによく新たに武具を持て行けお胸色攻め中
Did I drop one somewhere? Oh yeah, full bank. Full piggy bank. How are they rebuilding so fast?
今に仰せくださるべし拙者の役目心得ておる新たに命くださる行け万事この
Make sure red does not rebuild. Is that red or pink? Pink.
参れ者ども万事この旨必ず新たに命下されたお指図の通りご首位はいかにこの旨必ず果たす
Hey, what's going on over there?
者ども仰せこの旨必ず果た
Just surrender. Crying out loud. Surrender. Please surrender. The last is the English. It's the French versus the English.
ますます手柄を立てたく存じお指図を伺い申す。
やり場に乗り出してくれんかやり戦はどこじゃ新たに命下された兵にした一網打尽
Just that's gonna be it. Only lost 190. Like, well, that wasn't too bad. Like between all three AIs I was going against, it could have been better. Like, could have been like a really pitched battle. It's like when I get up to like 1,500 kills, that's when it's fun. This one's kind of meh. We're gonna quit right there. Quit that game at least. I think we'll do is just chatting, watch a few videos, see what's going on in the world. Good, just chatting. Not just dance. USD. Whoops. Do that. Come on. Come on. Let's watch a Linux video, shall we?
No matter what kind of teeth you gotta brush, Oral-B
After this-
Electric cleans better with one simple touch.
After this ad,
Oral-B's
let's wait till it
dentist-inspired round
passes.
brush head hugs them, cleans them, and gets in between them for 100%.
You can still hear it, Kenny. Yeah. Another ad. So that's our freaking. There we go.
2.3 are two of the most popular and loved distros on the planet, and at the same time, they could not be more different. On one side, Fedora 44 dazzles with the brand new GNOME 50, DNF5, BTRFS, and the
I tried
absolute
Fedora.
cutting edge of Linux. On the other,
I tried
Linux
Nabroo,
20.3
actually.
wins you over with that calm, comfortable cinnamon desktop that just works. Fedora moves Linux forward, Mint makes Linux comfortable. Two completely different philosophies at work here. I have daily tuned both of these systems, and this turned out to be a much closer fight than I expected. In this video, we are going head to head on the user interface, performance, software availability, gaming, stability, and the daily driver question. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Alright, let's kick things off with the desktop and the workflow section, because this is where Fedora and Linux Mint go their completely separate ways. On one side, you have Fedora 44 shipping the brand new GNOME 50. On the other hand, Linux Mint 22.3 gives you Cinnamon 6.6. Same Linux engine underneath, but the experience you get from these two, worlds apart. Let's start with Mint. The moment Cinnamon loads up, you just get it. There's a panel at the bottom, an app menu sitting in the corner, a system tray, icons
Wow.
right there. Already know how to drive this thing. No learning curve, no manual. You click the menu, you launch your apps, and you get to work. And Cinnamon 6.6 polishes this even further with a cleaner menu and those handy little applets slapped right onto the panel. It's familiar, it's comfortable, and man, there is real beauty in
Familiar.
something that just works the way you expect it to. Fedora's GNOME 50 plays a completely different game. There's no dock on the screen, no desktop icons, nothing. It's a super button workflow. You press that Windows key for pretty much everything. Press it to launch apps, press it to switch windows, press it to fly across workspaces. And yeah, it feels a little alien at first, I won't lie to you. But give it a few days and it turns into this fast keyboard-driven flow that's honestly kind of addictive, especially on a laptop. Yeah, you can use this with a 3-finger gesture on laptops, and once you get the hang of that, this thing becomes a productivity monster. Now, here's the thing. Many people get deterred by GNOME initially. I had been too. But you have to put in the time to learn driving this, maybe a week, and once you do that, this thing becomes a genuine pleasure to use. And just look how clean and polished it looks. Now, real quick, Fedora has a cinnamon spin. You can get Fedora in many other desktop options, so keep that in mind. You get KDE Plasma, Budgie. I think we also get Cosmic now, but I'm comparing the defaults here. GNOME versus Cinnamon. Also worth noting, GNOME 50 is Wayland only now with proper VRR and fraction scaling, while Cinnamon is still leaning on the good old X11. So who wins here? Honestly, it's highly subjective and it comes down to you. Want modern and minimal? Go Fedora. Want something familiar and ready to roll? Go with Mint. I'm gonna give both a point each and we move on. Quick one before we continue. I offer a personal one-on-one ChatGPT coaching program where in just 3 hours, I help you go from a complete beginner to using AI like a pro. You will be learning the AI fundamentals, prompt engineering, and advanced techniques like meta prompting that most people never learn. So yeah, if you want to work with me, check out the link in the description below. Alright, now let's pop the hood because this right here is where these two distros get really interesting. Most comparison videos skip this part,
It's like
but we are not going to,
Mac.
because this is exactly where the whole Fedora moves Linux forward, Mint keeps Linux comfortable idea actually comes from. Same kernel, same Linux, but two completely different engineering attitudes. Let's start with freshness. Fedora is the latest and greatest kernel and pushes new tech out the door early. So if you got a brand new laptop, a fresh Wi-Fi chip, a new GPU, the newest hardware, Fedora is going to just work right off the box. Mint, on the other hand, sits on the Ubuntu LTS base with kernel 6.17 at the moment. Slightly older but very well tested and stable. And yeah, you can grab the newer HWE ISO file if you're on newer hardware. You get that option. Overall, it's rock solid, but it's a step or two behind the bleeding edge hardware support. Then there's the file system. Fedora defaults to BTRFS, which brings cool things like snapshots and compression. You can literally roll your system back if an update breaks things. Mint sticks with the good old ext4. Tried, tested, dead simple. No fancy tricks, it just works. But you get time shift rollback option there as well. Same story with the package managers. Fedora's got the rewritten DNF5, and it's actually fast now, finally. Mint runs apt, which is probably the most battle-tested, tutorial-friendly package system on the planet. And on security, Fedora ships SE Linux locked and loaded, enterprise grade, strict. Mint runs the lighter app armor. So under the hood, Fedora is the engineer's distro, modern, aggressive, forward-looking. Mint is the daily driver, safe, stable, predictable. Both have their places and both have their value. You just need to pick the one that suits your life and work. So I'm going to give both of these a point each in this department. Okay, let's talk software availability, and this is a big one, and it's probably the most important factor for a lot of you. Now both Fedora and Mint give you access to a massive library of software, but they take two very different roads to get there. Let's start with Fedora. Fedora uses RPM packages with the rewritten DNFi, and it supplements that with Flatpak from FlatApp. So yeah, you get fresh, clean, up-to-date software, but here's the honest catch. Fedora is strictly open source out of the box, so things like media codecs, NVIDIA drivers, Steam, a lot of that isn't there on day one. You need to enable a repository called RPM Fusion first. It's literally a couple of commands, and once you do it, the floodgates open. But there's one extra step you have to know about. Actually, now you get the option to turn the mode on your first boot itself. You get that option. You just click enable. Mint, on the other hand, runs on apt and .deb packages, sitting on the entire Ubuntu universe. And this is Mint's superpower. Anything written for Ubuntu just works on Mint. Every tutorial you find online, every download for Linux button on a website, every random .deb file, it all just works. For a beginner, that is absolutely a massive deal. And even while based on Ubuntu, Mint rejects snaps. Mint actually blocks it out of the box and leans entirely on Flatpak instead, on both distros. These two play the universal package game the same clean way, through FlatHub. Both give you very clean and simple software managers that let you search and install absolutely anything you want easily here. The Flatpak experience is absolutely similar, but when you want to install full native packages, development tools, libraries, Linux Mint, because of its Ubuntu lineage, starts taking a step ahead, in terms of convenience and just that wider software availability. So Mint scores the software availability point.
The digital world. It's where business gets done and what keeps it running. But as your operations expand across clouds, data centers, and global users...
Now on to the big section. Let's talk performance. And to be honest, if you put both of these on the same modern machine and run benchmarks, the numbers are basically a tie. But there is a big difference in the performance profiles of Linux Mint 22.3 and Fedora 44. The real story here isn't about benchmarks, it's about which hardware you're running. Let's start with the obvious, idle resource usage. Mint Cinnamon is lean and light, sipping RAM and staying out of the way. Fedora's GNOME 50 is slightly heavier, it asks for more RAM, but on a capable machine it stays buttery smooth. And Fedora's ZRAM does clever stuff in the background to make the most of the RAM you got. Now here's where it actually gets interesting. On brand new hardware, Fedora pulls ahead. That newer kernel, the modern stack means the latest CPUs, the newest GPUs, all the fresh power management and scheduler improvements. Fedora gets them first. So on a shiny new laptop, Fedora just feels current. But flip it around, put these on an older, low-spec machine and Mint is the one that flies. Cinnamon, the light of the two desktops here, will run smooth and snappy on hardware where heavy GNOME starts to sweat. I really like Linux Mint's performance profile. It performs buttery smooth even on slightly older, low-powered devices. And since not everybody has the newest, latest, greatest hardware, it can be said that Linux Mint just performs better in the real world out there. Now, I want to be fair here. A lot of this is really Cinnamon versus GNOME, not Fedora versus Mint at their core. You can run lighter spins on either side, so it comes back to the defaults again. So where does this land? New hardware, Fedora. Old hardware, go with Mint. Honestly, they each win on their own turf. I'm calling this one a tie, a point each. Alright, let's talk gaming, and honestly, this is the best time ever to be a gamer on Linux. And the good news is, the setup is the same on both these distros. Steam plus Proton, it all works on Fedora and Mint. So the question isn't whether you can game, it's how much fuzz it takes to actually get going. And this is where Linux Mint really shines, because of that Ubuntu lineage. Getting started with gaming on Mint is genuinely ridiculously easy. Your drivers are auto-installed in most cases, and if for some reason they're not, Mint gives you the driver manager. A dead simple little tool that makes sure your NVIDIA drivers are right there, ready to install with a single click. Now if you're on AMD or Intel graphics, you don't even have to think about any of this. It all just works out of the box. But if you got an NVIDIA card, installing those proprietary drivers is absolutely essential. There's a huge performance gap between the open source Node drivers and NVIDIA's proprietary ones. We are talking night and day, and Mint makes closing that gap very easy. Open the driver manager, click, done. Then you just grab Steam straight from the software store, log in, and you're gaming. That's it. Now Fedora on the other hand, installing NVIDIA proprietary drivers it's a process. AMD and Intel integrated drivers are pre-installed though. Fedora brings some serious firepower to the table. It ships advanced tech like anti-sync and a newer kernel, which can give you real performance boosts in a whole lot of games.
Oh wow.
So on the cutting edge, Fedora has the technical advantage. But quick reality check for both. Kernel level anti-cheat games are still a headache on Linux. Period. You know, Valorant, Fortnite and stuff. That's not a Fedora or Mint thing, that's just where we are. So where does this land? Fedora has the raw tech, but Mint makes getting into gaming so effortless. Drivers, Steam, done in minutes, and for most people it's the better gaming experience. So the gaming point goes to Linux Mint. Okay, now let's talk stability. And to really understand stability, you got to understand how these two distros ship their updates, because how stable a system feels comes straight from its release model. And here, Fedora and Mint could not be more different. Fedora moves fast. You get a brand new version roughly every 6 months, and each release is support for only about 13 months. So you're always riding close to the cutting edge. Newest kernel, newest GNOME, newest everything. But that comes with a cost. You're upgrading often, and every now and then riding that wave means hitting the occasional rough edge. Fedora is stable enough to trust, but it does not ask you to keep moving. Now I personally feel upgrading every year or even 6 months is fine for most people. Mint plays the complete opposite game. It's built on the Ubuntu LTS base, and this version is supported all the way to 2029. Let that sink in. You can install Mint today and just forget about it. For years, no forced upgrades, no version chasing, no surprises. It just sits there and works. Mint is stable enough to forget. Once I'm in deep work phases, I love this. This is exactly why Linux Mint is my main operating system.
What's that 11:30?
Now I want to be fair. This isn't about one distro crashing and the other not. Day to day, both are rock solid. It's really about how often you have to think about your operating system. Fedora's freshness has a maintenance cost. Mint's stability has a freshness cost. Wow, I could be a poet. But for most people, for work machines, for set it and forget it users, and anyone who just hates maintenance, that long runway of 2029 is exactly what stability means. So this point goes to Mint. Installing and getting started with both Linux Mint and Fedora is a quick and simple affair today. Mint's installer is dead simple. It always has been. A few clicks, language, partitioning, and you're done. But the real magic happens after the install. You boot up and your codecs, your drivers, your media, it all just works. There's almost nothing left to do. It also has a very good post-installation setup app. Fedora's got a brand new Anaconda web UI, and I'll give it to them. It's modern, it's slick, and probably the better looking installer of the two. Actually, they've done a really good job on this installer. The old installer was very comprehensive and confusing. The new installer installs Fedora in like 4 steps. This is easily the quickest Linux installers out there. But once you're done installing, you still got that day one homework. RPM Fusion, codecs, all that, before it's truly ready to roll. So both are great, but Mints get to a complete ready-to-use system faster with zero fuzz afterward. Slight edge here goes to Linux Mint. Personally, and let me say this upfront, this was a genuinely close, high-quality fight. These are two excellent distros, and a lot of what separates them isn't one being better than the other, it's just two very different philosophies. So let me be completely fair to Fedora first, because it earns it. Fedora is a phenomenal distro for the tech-savvy crowd. The people who want the newest of everything, people who are happy living on the leading edge. But here's the genius of it. It's not bleeding edge and unreliable like Arch Linux. It's not stagnant and boring like a Firewall, Debian or Ubuntu LTS either. It sits right in the sweet spot. Every 6 months, Fedora takes the newest tech, runs it through a strict, robust testing process and hands it to you in a form you can actually depend on. They don't compromise on stability. So if you want cutting edge that you can still trust, Fedora does it better than just about anyone. But when it comes to my pick, it's Linux Mint. And honestly for me, it comes down to how a distro makes you feel. And that Cinnamon desktop is a huge part of it. Mint is calm, it's controlled, it just stays out of your way. You install it and then you pretty much forget it even exists. It just lets you get on with your work. And here's the real reason. Over the years, I've had things break on me. Systems give me grief. But on Linux Mint, never. Not once. I know from personal experience that Mint is dependable. That's exactly why it's my main operating system to this day. So my personal point today and this whole battle goes to Linux Mint. But hey, if you're running new hardware and you love staying current, do not sleep on Fedora. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either one of them. The download links for both of them are given in the description below. And if you're serious about mastering ChatGPT, check out my one-on-one ChatGPT mastery program. In just 3 hours, I'll personally take you from a total beginner to a pro. Link in the description. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, if you found it useful, definitely consider subscribing to the channel and also leave me a big thumbs up. Next up, check out my video of the top 10 Linux
I want to get
apps you
Mr.
should
Sprout,
be using
man.
in
That was
2026.
really
It's got some
clear.
really cool apps, so definitely don't
All right, what's the latest scoop in the Steam? The Steam machine. I mean, it's not a console. It's not a subsidized console. You can just buy it for like $600 and put it in your roach-infested apartment or townhouse. Like it's a PC. A little entry PC. Like
2 o'clock. Got team training.
The thing is,
but yeah, it
This
does
might be a
divide.
hot take. I think
Like the Steam machine does divide, the community. There's between rich and poor. You know what I mean?
the Steam machine
Like only poor people are excited about consoles these days. So, like if you're ever excited about the PS5, like you probably never had a PC.
is a very competitive price for what's on offer here. Let me explain. Yes, you could build your own PC that is less expensive and does laps around this thing. Yes, you could buy a console that's much cheaper, but this is filling a niche I don't think a lot of people are considering. And a little fault to Valve in the way they marketed this thing. We'll get into everything, going over who the heck this is for and what I mean by good deal. And if you're trying to decide whether this thing's worth it for you or not, hit like, hit subscribe. Hate to ask, but that's what I gotta do. Anyway, let's get into this once and for all. So right out the gate, Valve announces these things and they start at $1,049 US. A lot of people were hoping for closer to an $800 price point, and last year a lot of people were even saying $600 before the RAM crisis. Obviously things have changed. It goes all the way up to over $1,400 for the 2 terabyte with the controller. Let's not put it softly, this thing
Like it's a PC. Don't worry about a controller. Just plug in your mouse and keyboard to it. Maybe plug in an older Xbox controller or PS4 controller, and you're golden.
is expensive and is not for the casual mass audience anymore. And this is where I start to get into why
You mean it's not for the poor audience anymore? But I'll get it just to spite. Just watch me. I'll probably get it maybe 2 months from now. Just watch.
Valve is a little bit at fault here in my opinion. When they advertised this thing, they said it is going to be priced like an entry-level gaming PC. They didn't really specify one thing I'll get into later that they should have. So yeah, when this thing came out, the backlash was intense. A lot of reviews were saying, why is this worth it? Why would you buy this? Who is this even for? And part of that mindset was the fact that when this initially got launched, a lot of people put it in their brain that this is going to be targeting console price points, right? But Valve said it themselves, it's not. So right off the bat, we already knew that they weren't going to price it cheap and subsidize. And why they're not subsidizing is pretty simple. And we'll get into that console subsidization argument right now. A lot of people are comparing this thing to a PS5. The PS5 is cheaper. It performs better. So I'm going to explain this pretty easily because I don't think there is some people who don't really understand what the Steam Machine is. The Steam Machine is a computer. On a PS5, you have to buy games within their ecosystem. You can't do whatever you want. You can't visit any web page you want. You can't use the device like a workstation. And if you try to mod that device to use it like a PC, they will ban you and it will become a paperweight. You also have to pay yearly subscriptions for PS Plus and online play, something PC does not have. So they can subsidize the price of the console, which means sell it at a loss, so sell it cheaper because over time, you will spend more and more money on the ecosystem you're in, and that's how they'll make their money back. Valve cannot do this with the Steam Machine. Someone could theoretically buy a Steam Machine out of the box, put Windows on it, and start using it as a movie watching and workstation editing PC. They don't have to even touch Steam. Valve is literally doing nothing to stop you from loading any OS or any piece of software on this thing. Heck, you can do it already with the Steam Deck. This is a computer. And that's why Valve can't afford to take a loss up front when they sell this thing, because they don't know if you're even going to stay within the ecosystem. Whereas for Sony, you're forced to. And over time, if you add up how much you pay in yearly payment,
Like I think I might get like a portable 4K Blu-ray player for it. Yeah, then it's golden.
and games that are stuck within that ecosystem, you spend a lot more than $500 or $600 on just the console. So comparing it to consoles, in my opinion, is completely unfair. Yes, looks like a console, behaves like a console, But even Valve out the gate said it's not. It's a gaming PC. And I know that it's so close to being a console with the vibe of it, but it truly is a computer because you can do a lot more a console can't. Now, next argument I see. Just build your own PC. Absolutely, you can build something much more powerful for less money. But this is a pre-built mini gaming PC. And if you go and spec out the parts and build something that kicks this thing's you're gonna have a PC that's a lot bigger and probably parts that are cheaper that you shouldn't be skimping out on, like power supply and stuff like that, and you have to build it. The form factor is such a huge thing here. I think a lot of people buying this thing that this is really targeted for want to stick this inside of a cabinet in their media center. You can absolutely pull that off if you have a big enough cabinet with an entry-level gaming PC, but it's not a 6-inch box. And this is where we talk about what kind of pre-built this is. This is a mini gaming PC. If we look at the mini gaming PC market, you are hard-pressed to find something that is as performant as this at this price point.
See? These dishes are still dirty.
You need a detergent that cleans your dishes and your filter.
Filter?
Yep, my go-to is Cascade Platinum Plus. Only these action packs have double the Dawn, breaking down food residue, even on your filter. Cascade.
Now, you can get whiter teeth in just one day with Crest 3D White Deep Stain Remover.
There's a weird divide. You can either get the Radeon like 780M, 680M mini PCs from like Boss Game and Minis Forum, and those go for around like $500 to $600 US, sometimes even cheaper. But then again, you're not even getting the same level of performance. It's going to be 720, 1080p. Good luck with 1440p. Then if you scale up, you start getting into the high end. So you get your AI Plus PCs, I forget what they're called, the Ryzen H something. You start getting into those chips, and those go for thousands at that point. We're past the point of accessible. So that's kind of where we're at for mini PC pre-builds. You got your low ends, and then you've got your extremely high ends, right? The Steam Machine sits right here. It sits in this mid-range that's very hard to come by in the mini PC market right now. Now, hold on, before you say I can build a mini ITX machine, you can, but you're not gonna get a lot of the other baked-in features the Steam Machine has here, like that LED light bar, the antennas that work as a proprietary dongle for the Steam Machine controllers, the cooling, how it's whisper silent, HDMI CEC, like a bunch of things Valve has done here to make this just work out of the box in a clean little form factor. An entry-level gaming PC is a lot bigger, probably a lot less expensive than this, and will do laps around this thing. If you look at the market right now, you can easily find one. This is targeting a specific form factor that usually already goes for a lot more premium price. Now, I want to talk about why I named this video what it is, and why I think it's a reasonable price. There are RAM shortages right now. You'd be hard-pressed to find anything at a good price, and Valve, in my opinion, since they're pricing this thing at cost of what it costs to build it, they are not making barely any money here. If you look at similar builds like I mentioned earlier, there is maybe a...
All right, let's look at the breakdown. Then for DIY part, please. Ryzen 5 74F. Proprietary 16 gigabyte DDR5. RDNA 3.
$70 premium they charge on top if you were to build this on your own, and you're still missing features at that point, like the embedded antenna, the light bar, HDMI CEC. It just goes to show how close Valve is here to actually losing profit on this. And I think it's pretty ballsy of Valve. I mean, bringing out a pre-built, regardless of its price right now, and in this mid-range, in this form factor, yes, a little sloppy in practice because it's not what a lot of people were expecting and not really how they marketed it, but in its niche, yeah, it's a really competitive machine for what it's trying to do. And with Valve hardware, at least the new hardware, not the old one, we know that value accrues over time by a long shot. We see software updates get better, FSR get implemented, community support is crazy with like Decky on the Steam Deck added lossless frame gen. So we're gonna see this thing get a lot of hardware support because people are still making their Steam Decks kick, like myself nowadays, with some more powerful games that aren't supposed to run on it. And I think in the future we're gonna see a lot of people get priced out by hardware because of the rising RAM costs, where developers are gonna have to prioritize optimization on lower end machines. Because let's be honest, your PS6 and Xbox Helix is not gonna cost the same as current consoles. In fact, it's probably gonna be over $1,000 for the Helix. So everything lower cost eventually is gonna catch up because let's be honest.
Yeah, if I do buy something, like, I might go for the Switch 2 after I get the Steam Deck. I want to get the Steam Deck because, just to spite it, because I bought the Steam Deck at $1,000 and you didn't. Haha.
Once people run out of stock, you got to produce more stock. And with prices being as crap as they are, they're going to pass that cost on to the consumer like Valve has done here. So the final thing I'm going to say is who should buy this thing? Let me be right clear before I start this list. It is a very niche device, and I actually have a hard time recommending it to a lot of people because the Steam Deck was a lot easier to recommend before the price went up because of how accessible the price was. And it was a great onboarding device for a lot of casual gamers who want to get into PC gaming. So if you're still wondering who should buy it, here's who I think it's best for. People who want a clean, no fuss living room SteamOS experience, and they value convenience over performance. And
like, I'm getting to the point in my life where, like, I really don't care about graphical horsepower anymore. Like, I care about convenience and just performance. And I'm trying to get away from the desktop setup. I'd rather be able to take my setup maybe outside in the porch. Have a gaming session outside. Maybe haul a TV out there and hook it up. Without tearing apart my whole entire desk setup. Yeah.
And they don't want to set anything up. This is the device for you. Now, skip if you build PCs, you like a lot of performance, or you're on a tight budget. This is just not the machine for you. My overall opinion on it, besides the fact that I kind of have to get it because that's what this channel is about, I do PC gaming stuff, I want to cover it and what it's capable of, I am mixed. From a regular consumer standpoint, I own a gaming PC, I own a Steam Deck, this doesn't really fit into my life at all. But I'm looking at this from a completely neutral perspective here and whose life it could fit into, and the points I think a lot of people are missing when it comes to what niche this is filling, which in my opinion was an empty niche that was needing something like this for a while, assuming Valve can keep the stock up, which I'm not sure about that. Let me know what you think down below. Are you getting the Steam Machine? What do you think about the price? I want to hear it all. If you like this one, hit like, subscribe, and again, thanks for coming back to another one. It's a tough time to be a PC gamer, but here we are. This has been Nick, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, gamers.
Okay, anyone else excited about the Steam Deck, or are you content with the PS5? Okay, guys, I'm getting tired. It's 10 to 12. I'm gonna call it quits there. I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the night. I'm going to the city tomorrow, so probably won't be on tomorrow. And I might come back tomorrow. We'll see. But anyways, we'll talk to you guys all later. I'm out.
And now the hotel deal highlights from Trivago. Jurgen, this couple just saved over $100 a night on Trivago. Highlights